doing equity work for some time. You know, as a consultant, as a person who's done trainings, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of reading. So everything from Beverly Daniel Tatum's book, you know, Why Did the Black Kids Sit Together in the Cafeteria, as well as, you know, 1619 and other scholarly works. One of the things I found so striking about your book is how accessible it is. First of all, for me, it was a very fast and easy read, just because it flowed beautifully. But what I noticed about it is how wonderfully you wove in, not just your life experience, but it's like, I'm not just a Black woman who's encountered racism. Here are the facts, here are the articles, here are the papers, right? The exhaustive conversations to back up everything that you're talking about. And what I loved so much about it was how much it's, you know, it's not just for people, like most of the people in the room who are health equity, you know, advocates, but it's for anyone who in 2025 is still learning and hearing about these things for the first time. Could you tell us about how intentional you were about doing that and why that was so important for you?
Oh, absolutely. But first, can I say, can everyone hear me? Okay, great. I was going to say thank you so much to Help Me Start for inviting me for this Fireside chat. I've just been so impressed with the work that you've done and all of the individuals that were celebrated here tonight. Thank you for your work because we know it makes a difference. In terms of my book, Legacy, A Black Physician Reckons with Racism in Medicine, I wanted to make sure that I wrote it for a broad audience. I wanted to make sure that this book affirmed the experiences of our community members because oftentimes we feel gaslit, especially in healthcare settings. I wanted to affirm the experience of Black health professionals also because something similar but on a smaller scale happens to us as well in these environments. And then I also wanted to help connect the dots for people as to why the book came out in 2024, but still also in 2025, even more so, that despite advances in technology, research, and innovation, we actually see even widening of these disparities. And so I often talk about, so some of you may know the historian Deirdre Cooper Owens, and so she writes about just infant mortality historically. One of the quote that she often shares that I know many of you are familiar with is that the gap, the infant mortality gap between Black and white babies was actually narrower 15 years before the end of slavery than it is now, right? Now it's twice as likely for a Black infant to die within their first year of life than a white infant. That was actually narrower, even though overall infant mortality was higher, during slavery. But the fact was is that there was a financial incentive to keeping Black babies alive, right? And so now we don't have that financial incentive. Now it's just humanity. And so again, thinking about wanting to explain to people that there's nothing biologically wrong with our bodies, right? There's nothing biologically wrong with us, but there's something very, very wrong with the systems that we live and exist in. And wanting to use my experience as a Black health professional, but also as a Black patient, because I write about my own experiences as a Black patient in this book, to really help people understand where we are right now and what we need to do to get ahead.